What's up, people of this weird planet called Earth? Welcome to episode 51, the 51st episode of Reality Monday with yours truly, Ameenah Haleemah. Today's topic on the 51st episode is keeping up with valuable connections in 2023. It took a while before I decided to pick this topic, but yeah, we finally felt like it was the right topic to pick at this point because it's currently a choking 2023. So with me are three amazing guests, three beautiful and handsome guests, and they will be introducing themselves. I will not say who they are. Starting from Ameenah, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
So, hi guys, my name is Ameenah. I'm studying physiology in University of Illinois. I'm from Kogi State. I'm eager to invite you. My name is Iniki, and I curate period packages. That's basically my business, mini cares. Then I have a podcast too, Yarns with Mini, because I'm inconsistent with my giving. But then you can check me out, mini cares on social media handles. Then and my podcast Yarns with Mini on Anchor, Spotify, whatever podcast listening app you use. So that's basically
Marketer. Thank you very much for that brief introduction. I'm moving on to Mr. Toyeeb. Please, boss, introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Toyeeb. I'm a postgraduate student in University of Illinois doing my MBA currently. So I'm into content creations, and I have this personal business I'm on which we call e-services with the aim of linking up service providers with the general populace, like a one-time service providers for people. So yeah, basically that's just, I'm from Illinois actually, but not based in Illinois, and I'm really looking forward to this podcast. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for looking forward to the podcast. Moving on to my third and amazing guest, Haleemah, please introduce yourself.
Hi, beautiful people. My name is Haleemah Salako, a food science student of University of Illinois and a personal seller. I think that's all I have to say about myself.
Short and concise. Thank you very much, ma. So, without wasting too much of your time, we'll be going right into our topic for today, which has a lot of outline, but hopefully would not spend too much time. We'll move quickly. So, number one, on under keeping up with valuable connections in 2023 is: do you think the current situation of the country makes it harder to keep up with connections like friends, acquaintances, and relationships? And what are the reasons why? So I'll be going firstly to Ameenah, please. What's your opinion on this?
actually, yeah, I think like the current situation of things in Nigeria is like a very large factor because to be very honest, things are hard. Like before you even start using another person, like there are a lot of things on your head already, and I feel like I don't even know whether things has got no, it's not even I don't even know. I'm very sure that things has gotten like significantly worse. Like everywhere you turn these days, there's one wahala to the other. Like even if you think it's not affecting you, it's affecting everybody. I feel like a lot of people are going through a whole lot. Like it's worsening. Maybe before you're not affected, but now it's affecting. Like look at the cash issues. Like it's affecting like every freaking person. So I feel like everybody has like a lot going on, and it's hard to be very honest. Before you even think about another person, before you even your friend can even tell you, oh, so things happen. Before you even remember to like, oh, check up on this person, something would have hit you, and like you've been dealing with that one. So yeah, I think like everything that's happening in the country is like it's a lot, and yeah, definitely affects.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So yeah, Haleemah, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, right. What she said exactly, because the current situation of the country is very overwhelming. Like before you can even sort yourself out, okay, fine, you are dealing with this, the school issue. We are in school currently, and with the transportation issue of my school, I have a class by 8 a.m. If I can meet up, if I can finish classes, if I can even be able to get bus back to off campus, with everything that is going on, do you even think I'll have the time to try to still keep up with people? I have things to sort out. I have my life to even plan out again.
Wow.
But what I feel again is, the connections you've built with people before prior to all these issues, I think to some extent you still keep it up. Like, I'm this person that I was raised up in just a nuclear family, just myself and my family, my father and my mother. So I'm not really like good with other people. And we are these people that we have to talk to each other every day. There's this connection. So no matter how tired I can be, no matter how exhausted I can be, I feel like, oh, my mom is the first person to even talk to, like to even ease my stress. It's just family, but external people, friends, and everything is always very overwhelming. It is just because of the relationship I've kept with my family that is still making me like I have to keep up with my family, but it's not really easy. The country is not making it easy. It is taking a toll on everybody.
Okay. That's actually, it made me like remember some things. But before that, I want to actually push a question to Toyeeb. I want to push a question to Toyeeb.
I
Did you want to say something before?
generally, I think generally, you see, the topic was that keeping up with valuable people, right? So the fact is, no matter how difficult the situation is, there are still some people that we can't do without. Basically, look at that. Was talking about our parents or something. There are some people that you will always have time to keep up with because they are basically your life.
Yeah.
You understand? But generally, I think those people that these things is going to affect the most are probably people that don't really have any reasonable connections in the first place. Like acquaintances and stuff like that. But generally, look, if it is essential, if someone very valuable, no matter how difficult it is, you're going to find a means to reach out to them. Probably you need something from them. Probably they need something from you. Do you understand?
So I think that's not the problem. Okay, that thing, when you need something, that thing is like a very important thing when you have connection with people.
Although the fact is, generally, honestly speaking, generally, the situation of the country makes it so difficult for you to remember anybody else because you still have to focus on yourself to survive. Do you understand?
You now know that there are some people that if you don't if you are not in their life, at least check up on them once in a while. You might later say that, oh, I don't want to ask this, or my family might not be able to do this. But the only people that I talk to are my family. But then, because you need their help for one thing,
exactly,
they will now tell you that
what I'm saying is the fact that due to the hardship, so to say, we've now make our connections on a need to know basis, like people that we just need something from. Do you understand? Yeah. It's so difficult to just catch up with ordinary people. I'm serious. But if you look at the contact list, probably your boyfriends, your aunts, they are still going to constant
especially women. Women are the ones that have like a lot of
women have a lot of what? What do we have?
No.
What do we have? What is it?
Like you have a lot of guys that are on your neck normally, aside from even the main person she gets. So keeping up is like very difficult.
Even guys are even finding it hard to even keep up conversations. Like this Nigeria is touching everybody. It is you that have started yourself that will be thinking of talking to one babe, this, that.
I think we cannot just agree that no matter how difficult it is, we still have to keep up so that we business in our lives.
Yeah, definitely. Aside family, because we actually cannot do this life alone. We cannot do this life alone. And so we still have to keep up with our state family. There are still some people in our lives. And one thing is, you cannot always keep up with everybody, no matter how. Definitely. I know there are particular people that there are some sets that are very valuable that constantly you still have to keep up on. But when you talked about needing help, blah, 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 there are some people that even without keeping up with them, it is just their responsibility. Like, I don't know how to put it. Okay, now you are my coursemate. I just know you as a coursemate. I don't have to check up. I don't have to keep we're not friends. She gets but I can still need something from you. Maybe school materials, school stuff. You will give it to me, and if I'm to give it to you, I'll definitely give it to you. You are not my side guy. When you talk about yeah, babe.
I want to say something. I wanted to say something that aside needing people just for material things and stuff like that, there's people that we still have to continue talking to just to keep sane. I feel at this point,
that's another important about life.
If you say you want to do, I only talk to people when I need them. you'll be surprised that you text some people when you need them and they will not answer you, and they're not bad people because they may have been going through shit in their life, like with the whole country this thing, and you're not texting them, you're not there for them, you're not checking up on them, and then you're coming and like, oh hi, I need this stuff. They feel even like they can air you, they can shank you, and it's not like they did anything bad. I feel like there are people that even if we don't need something for them, like sometimes we should just text them like, yo, Alpha, we've not spoken in weeks. Are you fine? Are you good? Like we don't necessarily have to have a conversation.
babe,
Like,
I get you. I was just talking
things
to
like that are like,
okay, babe, I get you. It was just like a reply to when
so
Toyeeb said we might be needing help from people. Like conversations should not like the sole conversation shouldn't be like, okay, because I'm checking up, it means that I might have to ask you some for an help in future. No, that's not supposed to be the sole basis of conversation. Like that was what I was trying to reply. You see, I said the other time that most of the times I like to call my mom just to rant, to just cool my head. And there's some other people like that too that I call when like they are just random.
Haleemah,
Yeah.
let me paint a scenario to you. For like, let's say you have a cousin, okay, that you haven't spoken with for like a while. Maybe probably she's in school. Then suddenly, and I'm giving you the general something now, on a Sunday or whatever, he or she just types you, Alpha says, how are you doing? Look, what is the first thing that will come to your mind?
Billing.
Billing.
I was thinking something.
What I'm trying to make you realize is that the situation of the country has made all of us in a panicking state, sort of like keeping up with people. Even for example, now you trying to keep up with people. Some people, you might, as you said earlier, you might just be checking up with people naturally. But believe me, I might used to check on Abib. But if I say hi, Abib might thought like I want to ask him something or whatever. Do you understand? That's also one side we need to consider. So look, the situation in this country has made every one of us like to second guess the reason why everybody's checking on the reason why we are checking on each other.
That's what I'm trying to explain, that there are some people here that you are obviously not just talking to when you need something. See, there are some people that really need to might not be with that they need something, because these are people that are like constantly like try to like check up on, like to check if they are safe, not just because I want to ask for something or they want to ask. Like I have this friend that we might not talk for like weeks, and then he can text and I'll be like, oh guy, this guy just wants to check up on me, and then I'll instantly feel bad for not checking up like before the person even texted. My mind will never go to like at all. I genuinely know that this person wants to make sure I'm okay, because it's not only about needing something. If you don't have someone to like lean back on, like fall back on in this country, like if you met that kind of thing, it's not even just about needing material things. Like to need people that are actually like there for you. Sometimes people might want to rant, you want to cry and stuff like that. You have to have like people like that in your circle too. So if you are saying, oh, you're not texting people to you need something, or you're not texting people to you, oh, you want to ask for something, or when people might genuinely just text you because I don't even understand that like people are like getting very, very like depressed and like sad these days. People might just text you because, oh, they want to say something, but in fact, this is one of the reasons that people don't text. Some people don't text because they feel like if they text, the other person will feel like, oh, you want to ask me for something.
Do you get? I don't like the fact that when I text you, you have to. I don't like the fact that when I text somebody, you have to like second guess. No, I don't like it. Like I don't even ask people. And I know that is, but I think it depends on the kind of people we have in our corner, because I can't text people that I know I care for. Okay, I called somebody tonight. The person checks on me very frequently, but I am very bad in like reciprocating. So tonight, when I remembered I was coming from somewhere, I had to call on my way because I don't want to forget when I get to my hostel. And when I called, it wasn't picking up. He texted. I sent a voice note that, oh, I'm just trying to check up. Hope it's good. Blah 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 blah. And he called me later, and we talked. He cannot even feel like I'm trying to ask him for something, I'm trying to beg or something. He knows that I just want to check up, even if I had not delivered the voice note, I had not sent the voice note. So I feel like the people in our corner too, you know.
Aside my parents or like my family members, please, if you're my friend and I'm texting you, and I'm calling you, if I'm calling you, something's definitely wrong. But if I'm like texting you as my friend and you're not seeing urgency like that, don't even think I want to ask for anything, because I genuinely just want to be dramatic and make sure that you're okay. It's not even about asking for anything. It's
Okay,
just
so we'd have to move on to the next outline. Apparently, this was actually nice. I feel like there are a lot of other things that would say that would put things to perspective and like link what we've been talking about before. But I think one thing that we all agree with is that it is actually really not easy to keep up with connections at this point in time, this 2023. But yeah, we still need to like gauge those things and know like the ways that we can use to either keep up or make sure that the people that are on like at our corner or the connections that we make, they are ones that understand like the situation of things and they don't guilt trip you at the end of the day when like communication is not frequent. So I think the second outline would put things into perspective. I feel like all of us also have different people because yeah, we've said experiences. Toyeeb has said like one thing, Haleemah said like an experience, Ameenah has said an experience. So the second outline is which of these categories are both. That's like the friendship, acquaintances, relationships, whether immediate or family. Okay, yes, there's family, whether immediate or extended. Which of these categories are both? Are you able to keep up with the most? And what are the methods that you use, both long distance and short distance? So I feel like this is where we actually need to, like, we say our experiences. Maybe other people can learn from it. So I think I'll just briefly say what I do to keep up with people now is I literally avoid texting people because I feel like when you start texting is when there needs to be the dedication of consistency. And there's a lot of miscommunication when it comes to texting. So what I just do is like if I'm meeting someone for the first time now, I like to let them know that see I'm not a text person. I don't do text because I literally use a lot of my time in the day to do so many things. So probably calls, like check-up calls, usually that's my way of communicating with others. I feel like every other person has a like their own methods, or I don't know, some people don't feel like it's necessary. That sometimes I see some Twitter trends and where the people are like there's a question of do you prefer calls, text, or video calls or something like that, and most people actually say texting. I'm like, where do you people get the time to actually text? Like where do you get the time? So in my own opinion, that's the way I sort these things out, and I like to be clear. Like clarity is something that I feel like is really important. So those are like my methods. So I would like to hear you guys from and maybe other people can learn from it. So let me start from Toyeeb actually, then Haleemah, then Ameenah. So Toyeeb, briefly.
Actually, maybe just like you said, I think it's a guy thing because personally for me as well, I prefer calling than texting. Honestly speaking, like I don't know, I just don't fancy texting. The efforts, the time, I'm just convenient unless it's a social, it's an official thing or whatever. But if I want to check on someone, maybe someone I have not spoken for a long time, or if I want to call, their parents or some people in my close circle, actually, I prefer calling them. Do you understand? And I think I just need to point this out. This relates to the first question we are discussing. Okay, on an average day, let's say I spend like 3 to 4 an hour on airtime. Normally, I'm still like on an average day, if I want to call someone,
average day, you are rich, you're very rich. I say you are very rich, bro.
So I'm saying like, so I spend like 300 to 400 on airtime. So now the thing is that for the past few weeks now, okay, like I've had to cut back on that due to the situations of things. You understand? Mm-hmm. So the fact is, personally, I prefer calling. Yeah, mobile call, because another thing is when you call someone, you hear the voices, you can gauge their reactions. Are they excited? Are they okay? Whatever.
Yeah,
but texting someone, for me, I feel like you really don't know. You really can't feel. I can't understand what that person is saying.
You have to lie on text.
Exactly. But if I call you,
yeah,
I can hear your voice, I can understand to some extent, some message. I can feel you to some extent. You understand? So I think personally, and for me, I have a very close circle of friends. Honestly, a very close circle of people. So that has been easier for me. But that doesn't mean when I call someone, I spend like 15 minutes to 20 minutes on phone. That's why I spend a lot of my time. But in recent times, seriously, I will call you, and if after calling and I realize that you're not calling back, guy, I'm not calling you because it's a sacrifice on my end to buy a time and try to keep up with it. Do you understand? So if you are not reciprocating that, I don't also have the urge anymore to continue that relationship. Do you understand? So basically, I prefer calling people because it gives me a lot of insight into what's their state of mind at that moment I'm calling them. So I think that's just it for me.
I call, I text, depending on the kind of, like, I don't know, calls and texts, I don't know, because I feel like these people are my people. So you get, be it text, anyone you're comfortable with, yeah, I'm good. If it is to call, yeah, I'm good. I just feel text, you can always like deliver a text, even when they're offline, they can always get back to you and also. But be it text or calling, I do both very well. Because they are the people I really want to talk to. Yeah, so whatever means they are comfortable with at that point in time, yeah, that's what I go by. I go with. Shake it.
That's really interesting.
Because I have a very few people I talk to.
For me, it's like divided. Like I've divided it clearly. For my family members, my mom, my siblings, I call. Because there's no way you're texting those, they will not look at your text, they will not. But for my friends, I will talk. Yeah, like for my phone, I rarely text. But you don't even know I have these people on social media. I call them. But then for my friends, I text. The only time I'll like call my friends are like maybe the few ones that I know that texting, like these dummy people that they know that texting is not for them. They cannot text. And even I was there, because calling is not like really my thing too, so it's just like once in a while. So mostly I text, and the main like the way I've used like maintain connection mostly this year is I am returning energy. I cannot be texting you and be checking up on you and like you're only texting me like I don't know how to explain it, but like I feel like the energy is not like reciprocated, like it's like one-sided. This year I'm only doing the energy I get. I'm returning. But then there are still some people that even if they're not giving their energy, like during like with our history, I don't mind like texting every time and like always take it, like because these people have like
there are some confused people too that they don't know what they want. Those ones tell them.
Exactly, but like there's just some people that I know that this was like be with me like way back. So even if they don't text, I don't mind like always texting and stuff like that. And yes, I love my cycle too, because even when I'm crazy, and you cannot, only one person cannot maintain energies, maintain relationships. If you are depending on like only one person to like maintain connections, like they will break, like the bonds will break at a point. So yeah, if one person is not putting energy, the other people too, the other parts too, they'll make efforts. So yeah, I like my cycle too, because sometimes I slack, I'm not even like, sometimes I might not check up with my friends, sometimes I'm like be overwhelmed with whatever, like this whole country and personal things, and then they will be the ones like texting like, guy, hope you're fine, hope you're good, hope you're. So yeah, it's depending on the people.
Depending. That's nice. So I'm glad we were able to go through those two major outlines. We have just three more to go, and we should be off. We've used about 23 minutes. I would have said we should go for what's it called, a commercial break, but no, we have to finish this first. There's no commercial break. So yeah, let's just move to the third outline, which is, do you think everyone should just stay off radar at this time and focus on their main lives without worrying about keeping up with people they care about? And what are the reasons for your answer? So yeah, when it comes to being off radar, I feel like everybody, there's not a lot of conversations about this issue of depression, when some people just have to stay off radar, and then they have to come back at the time where they feel like they can have conversations. But yeah, I think this has to do with different kinds of connections. For relationships is different. I don't think people that actually are in relationships should go off radar and decide to not talk to probably their partner, or although I'm not really I don't know. I would not know actually. But the other aspect is probably, one thing I'm sure about is, no matter how depressed you are, you cannot say you are hiding yourself from your family or your wife or your spouse. So that's like a big deal. So I would like to know you guys' opinion, aside from keeping off radar for like the a majority of people, probably like youths of like maybe not too old people, and then the other perspective of people that are like actually old enough to um, have a family. She get to yeah. I don't know if you get that. Let's start with Ameenah. Ameenah, please, your opinion.
I think I'm going to start by saying, like, you pointed out like two different scenarios. When you're busy or when you're like depressed and like you have thoughts going on. I feel like if going to like talking about the depressed and the whole overwhelmed episode first, I want to like link it to it. So there's this tweet I saw where the person was like friends will be angry at you that you're not texting, you're not checking up, when you're literally fighting for your life, and like they're angry that you're not replying their texts and stuff like that. And the people in the comment section were like, oh yes, this. And then somebody said something that I don't get it. Why are we friends and like why are we close? And then you are going through something, even if you don't want to talk. Like it will not kill you to leave a text and be like, oh, I'm going to take a break for this so time, or oh, I'm not going to be online for this so time, or oh, like. And I
think that problem, is lack of clarity. We call everybody friends.
Exactly. I connected with that person's tweet immediately because I feel like if we have like a certain connection here, there are some people that they will ghost me and I'll be like, okay, whatever is going on, like they will come back now, like just take it. But I feel like you have it like there are some people that you have like this certain connection with, and like you cannot just ghost them or just leave them and like just go like that because you're like, oh, you are going through something or stuff like that. I'm not being insensitive because I've been there too. If I want to take a social media break today, there are like 3-4 people that no matter what I have to text and tell them, oh, alpha guy, I'm not going to be honest, like a week. I don't want to talk. I don't feel like talking. I don't want to talk to anybody. And I may not even tell them that, oh, this is what is wrong with me. It's not necessary. But I'll just let them know that, oh, I'm going off the radar. I'm like not going to be active and stuff like that. Because I don't want them to start thinking that they did something, or they start thinking that, oh, you know, now there's people that actually genuinely worry and care about you. So I don't want them to like be too bothered and stuff like that. So I'll make sure I leave a text and like, oh, I'm actually leaving you. No, find me, like all this kind of thing. I just need to like get my head straight and like stuff like that. And maybe when I'm back, I'll talk about it. And I feel like that conversation is very, 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 very necessary. Because if people are ghosting too, what if they are going through stuff too? Like I don't think it's fair actually, like for you to just like leave people, but it's like just disassociate like leave without like being clear, like, oh, I'm actually like, even if you don't talk about it, it's totally fine. If you don't talk about it, it's totally fine. But at least let them know that, oh, I'm not going to be available. Then the issue of being busy, it's still going to go back to the fact of is how important that connection is to you, because at least see how busy you are. There are some people that no matter how busy you are, even if it's once, I'm not saying every day, even if it's once in a while, no matter how, like even if it's one text, even if it's are you good text? Are you fine text? Just leave it. Like I think nobody can like all I say stay alone without people, especially in this Nigeria. See, you need people. There's no how you want to do it. So even if you just think, are you fine? Are you good? I'm talking about people that are busy now. Not even like if they are depressed or maybe that is another different thing. Not talk. You are free to not talk to people. Exactly, you are free to like not talk to people, get your shit together and stuff like that. But if it's about this, oh, we are busy and stuff like that, I feel like, see, even if you send the text by 3 a.m., maybe the person will come online and the person will see it, or the person will check their messages and you will see it. Like, just leave the text. Just even if you don't have to talk to them at that period, just leave the text. Leave the missed call, leave whatever. But make this person know that, oh, I still care about you, and I'm taking time out of my busy schedule to like check up on you and make sure you're fine. Exactly, like no matter what. But if it's family for me, I say apart from my mommy, outside my mommy, see, but I can still multitask talking to my brother sometimes, because those ones you cannot quickly cut the bond now. The bond is there. It has always been there. You cannot remove the blood. The way my mom used to talk to me, I said, the remaining of my siblings is when we see, we see. When we talk, we talk. We shall know to do for each other.
Exactly. You cannot ghost each other.
Exactly. So, you cannot dissuade me. That's basically it. That's what I think.
Yeah, exactly. Because
that was detailed. Thank you. Haleemah, yeah, please.
you cannot say you have quality or valuable connections with somebody and you feel like you want to go off radar without even like, you know, communicating with them. No, that's no, you guys are not like connected. Like you said, we usually don't clarify relationships. We just take some, okay, because, you know, some random people, we just feel like, oh, some acquaintances, we just tag them as like, oh, friends, classmates, friends, colleague, friends. Like we just call people friends. Yeah, sure, you get right from day one. I'm not that kind of person that call everybody my friend, because I really like my space and I really don't talk to people that I don't like connect with my soul, with my body and soul. Like right from day one, I don't really like to talk to people that I don't really connect to. Sure, you get. So now I only have few friends, and my friends are these people that we are all the same. We really don't go deep into each other's personal life. But the ones we want to talk about, the ones you are overwhelmed about, like you can always share, we can always talk about it. She gets like, okay, this, that, she gets. And I can always tell you, oh, I want to go off with that. I'm overwhelmed and this, like, I don't want to talk for this particular time. Like, if it is something I want to do, I think I have to communicate, she get. But there are some people, like my mother, there's nothing I can be going through. Is it that she come and stay with me in this Ilorin, or I move to her in that Lagos? We should go through it together, because she cannot even. God, my mom calls me averagely like five times in a day.
Okay.
She calls me like in the morning. She calls me very first in the morning. Like towards the afternoon, 11 or something, she calls again. In the afternoon, she calls. In the evening, she calls. At night, she calls again. So averagely like 5 times in a day. There's no way you want to like. And my brother called me like on video call like 3 times today. My last born. So my family, I cannot even like and they are part of the people that are still keeping me going. Because there's nothing like I'm going through that I cannot always relay with them and with my friends too. So imagine that kind of bond, the kind of connections I have with the people in my corner. So I can't just go off like that without like making them no. Because I will feel very bad. I'll feel very bad if the person I feel like, oh, I can always go to goes ghost like that. Like
exactly.
No, that'd be very
actually,
even me, if I ghost like I want to go off radar and I don't want to talk to people, I will still feel bad that, oh, I did not let this particular people this particular place to know that. Like I will feel very bad, because
if it was done to me, how would I feel?
If it's me, he used to pay me. I think I was thinking that I did something.
Actually, I have a different opinion, probably due to a unique background I have, so to say. So I'm an only child, actually. So
that's another perspective.
I'm the kind of person that I have this opinion. Seriously, there was a time we were talking on Twitter. You are like, I said I was not on WhatsApp. I think I just sometimes back. I'm the kind of person that whenever I have things to go through, believe me, I go totally off the radar. I won't call anybody I'm going off the radar. I won't tell anybody I'm going off the radar. But if you miss me or you couldn't find me, you will definitely call me and I will pick your call. And I will tell you. But me calling you and I say, hey, I want to go off the radar, I think that's really unnecessary. Because if you really, I want to have my safe space. But if there is anything I need to do for you, you are definitely going to reach out to me and I will do that for you. You understand? But number one, I won't call you and tell you that I'm going off the radar. You understand?
No, it is not like I'm trying to clarify my own perspective. I know, right?
And this has actually cost me a relationship, honestly speaking, at the point. You know, where I have a girlfriend that she's always like, you don't even talk when you're going through stuffs. You understand? Like, you don't just I disappear off her as well. Like, I'll just totally go off her. It's not like I just have some stuff to deal with. And I've been brought up in a way that I deal with my things myself. I don't that's
like, it's not your fault. It's not actually your fault. It's like
exactly. That was actually an amazing point that I listened to. You know, I always call them, but you know, the fact is this: your parent has a different experience. They live in different time compared to you. So as much as they want to understand me as a child, it can be compared to maybe having a brother or someone who will live in the same era. You understand? Who have the same, we live the same generation. You get? So there are still some things that they can never understand about. You understand? That's the reality. So for me, I just feel like, look, going off, we all deal with problems in different ways. Some people deal with people, they deal with people around them. Some people deal with it, I don't know. But for me, it's private. But if I'm in my off zone or something, I'm in my private space, you needed me, you're definitely gonna call me. But I'm not the type that will just put out I'm going off the radar or whatever. So that's it for me. So everybody has
everybody has their own different ways. So
and again, please, but I need to just put out something. You see,
okay.
Despite the fact that I know this, and I'm always kind of person that like to go off, do things alone. There's nothing in my life that I've achieved or work that I don't need people to work, to help me with. Do you understand? The fact is, no matter how we want to go off the radar, how we want to, we still need people around us. That is an undeniable fact. Understand? Because if you want to go far, they say if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you need people around you.
Go with people. You work with people.
And I've been really blessed that I have people around me that they understand the fact that I go there not because I hate them, but that's just because of who I am. And despite that, if I need help, they are ready to turn up for me. So that's just my.
It is good your kind of cycle share the same value with you. When you said, okay.
Because of time, we can go on and on. She understand. The episode is just to make listeners listen to everybody's opinion and get to learn their own perspective, not for us to come and argue. So I would give probably less than a minute for Haleemah and Ameenah to say what they want to say. Then we'll move on because I really want us to end this in the next probably 10 minutes. So Ameenah, please.
Okay. What I wanted to say is, Toyeeb, we're not saying go and announce that. I already get you and get your perspective, to be very honest. But we're not saying go and announce that. I'm going out with that. We're just trying to say that. I'm still saying that I get your perspective. We're just saying that there are some people that you actually for example, now if you go off the radar and that person is going through shit, and the person misses you, and the person does not call, why? They think that they do not know that maybe you're not active, because them too, they're not active, they're going through their shit too. Now imagine the two of us coming back and then we're acting like everything is fine, and maybe I can even be pissed at, because I've been in that situation before, and I'll be like, when I was online, this person did not check up on me. When I was on, this person did not call. Meanwhile, that same period, that person too was going through their shit, and I did not know. And we're calling ourselves friends, and we're going through stuff in this life that is hurting us and it's overwhelming. And then not even those friends, my very, very close person, my person does not know, and I do not know too. And I just feel actually if those core people do not know about what's happening in your life, who do you now want to be telling? Because me, I didn't grow up with telling my family some things. It's just how would I say it? It's just the basic things I tell them, what the mental health stuff like that. I always tell them in my house. It's friends I used to tell, some specific people, get that kind of thing. So I'm if these people did not know, and these people are going through their shit, and I'm not there for them, I'm not calling them, because both of us are off radar, and nobody told the other person that I'm not. I feel
you're going off radar.
It's not actually a nice thing. I say it's not actually, because you don't know what has happened to them that period. You don't know what happened to them in that period. So and they will be vexing for each other. That we'll be keeping it in our mind that you're not there for me, I was not there for you. And it's not actually.
Ameenah, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll put that into perspective. Haleemah, please, in the next 1 minute, please.
Yeah, exactly what I feel like. So it's not you have to announce to them or make it a breaking news or something. There's a way you get into conversations with people. There's a way we usually talk, that you make it known to them that you want to just be off for a while and all stuff. And when you said mom or no mom, it is not you have to. We lived in, my mom and I have we have a lot of differences, sure you get. But what I meant by your family is at least they can relieve your story. You don't have to talk about that personal stuff you are going through, anything that got you overwhelmed. So you can just talk about the kind of things you guys share in common that is going to still relieve you of the moment. That's what I mean by there are some people that you cannot just go off on totally. But I understand the fact that you were raised you were you're a single, you are I don't know how to put it, she gets. So I don't know if you don't really have that connection, like starting to like there is no
Well,
way you want to be in,
Alima, so
yeah.
I would have to cut you there, so that we will not waste. Sorry about that. I will not waste too much of our time. Please, I would want us to, like I said, everybody has different perspectives. No pressure, no what's it called?
Argument.
No argument, or how would I
Like
put
no
it?
one answer, right?
No, yeah, we should just know that our opinions are our opinions. At the end of the day,
Bandit.
we
Nobody's
can learn
right.
from each other, hopefully, and anybody that is listening to this also learns from like the conversation that we are having. Shege. So the last two outline are things that should not take too much of our time in just like a few minutes. Um, Firstly, is do you think the country is the main reason why it's hard to keep up with people, or it's just personal resolve? So, in less than 1 minute, please. I'll start from Toyeeb in case he has any other thing to point out.
I think I would say no. Actually, I would say no. Although the country is the contributing factor to whatever it is, but the reality is no. Your personality, the kind of family orientations you had, the kind of society you belong to, even your religious sect, understand, are all
Yeah,
these contributing factors that determines how you socialize with people. Do you understand? So, but generally, my answer would be no. Honestly speaking, although no matter how difficult the countries might be, we still keep up with people that are essential to our lives. You understand?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
no, yours have it. There are a lot of factors actually. So that's that. That would be for me. That's all.
I feel like you fall in the aspect of it's still personal resolve. So, Amina, you,
I honestly say no too. I feel like yes, the country is a very big factor because sometimes if you want sex, you may want to sex and then different problems. No light safe can even affect it. Your
I
battery,
swear, no life can affect
yes,
you.
no cash, no. You cannot you cannot buy data. Network is not working.
Yeah,
I feel like yes,
yeah.
the country is a
So many
factor, but
things.
I don't think it
It's
is the main
good enough.
reason. I
Yeah,
swear, school is a lot. I feel like yes, the country is a contributing factor, but I don't feel like it's the main reason. I feel like you are always going to maintain connections that you want to maintain. The only time that you're going to be excused is if mental health is a
it's
factor.
at stake.
That's the way, and that conversation is a very, very good and wide conversation too. But
Yeah,
that's the
very
only way you like the excuse if mental health is involved. Because if it's involved, sometimes it's not really your doing. It's like
yeah,
it's
it's
your
not
head,
your
it's
fault.
the things you're going through. Exactly, it's not your fault. So aside that too, I don't feel it's you. If you want to maintain connection with anybody, you are going to maintain. Even if connection breaks and you want it back, you know how to fix it. So if you want, like, if you want to still be your person, exactly. It's not about the country. If you want it, you will get it. That's basically it.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Alima, in less than 1 minute, so that we can go
Yeah,
to our last.
I resonate with both of them. It is not the country is not it is a contributing factor actually, but it is not the major factor because we said the other time that no matter how much you want to, no matter how much the country is taking a toll on us, there are still some people that will be excused that will stay top to our favorites, are like most valued and all. So no matter what's going on in the country, no matter how much you can be overwhelmed, we still have the people we still talk to. So the country is, but it can just be a contributing factor.
Okay, thank you very, very much. So, lastly, and this has been an amazing brief conversation so far. Lastly, we have what's your advice? This is the time for you to get for you guys to like advice listeners. What's your advice to people in keeping up with important people in their lives? So, I will go first with Alima, please. In less than one, I'm hoping this will not be more than 45 minutes. So, in less than 1 minute, what's your advice?
Yeah, just be intentional. Be intentional about your relationships with people. I think that would be very helpful. Like when you're very intentional about your friendship, you don't have to your relation, whatever it is, friendship or whatever relationship. The intentionality, it determines, like, you don't have to wait on this person to check up on you to share you get, like, it's just mutual, and hopefully the other person too is intentional. Share you get. So if you're intentional with your relationship with people, there is no way you would not want to keep up with them. She gets. That's what I just feel like she gets. And I don't know, that's just the main number one thing I feel like.
Yeah, there are so
Yeah, be
many other
intentional
ones.
about the kind of people you keep in your circle. If you're very intentional with them, yeah, you keep the ones that she gets. There is no way you have to be taught, or you have to be waiting, or you have to be like waiting on. I want to be reciprocal about the other person from the she gets. You always want to keep up.
Yeah, thank you very much for that important part of intentionality. So, Ameenah, please, you next. Advice of.
I totally like agree with all that Alima said. And the only thing I have to add is like you have to like understand the people that you want to keep these connections with. Because if you are saying, okay, you are being intentional with this person, and then you feel like, oh, this person is not being intentional with you because the person's language, the person's way of communicating an important way is different from your own language of communicating. Let me say the person is not this way, we have to text every time person. Person is not we have to call every time person. But once you understand this person that, oh, this is my guy, now I will be this, I feel like yes, that's like another very big step to like maintaining connections. So you'll not get like angry, like you'll not be pissed irrationally, and like you'll not be like annoyed at this person. But if you understand the connections you want to keep very well, if you know them, like I feel like, and then that's where the own intentionality will now come into factor, because if you understand that, oh, this is the way this person likes to check up and stuff like that, and the person is like, exactly, and the person is intentional with his own method, and if your own is to text every time, and like you're actually like intentional with your own method of like checking up with the person and stuff like that, your connections will really not have any issues. And then from you, when you want to leave, tell people that, oh, I'm not going to be here for this particular time and stuff like that. That's
okay. Thank you very much for those brief advice. So lastly, Toyeeb, please, so that we can round up. And
yeah, so unless it's a business, conversation, like a business relation with someone, whether it's a relationship or it's just friendship, do not expect things in return, honestly speaking, because what relationship somehow cringy is when, if I do this to you, you have to do this for me. You understand? So just do whatever you can do at your comfortability without expecting anything in return. That is only when you won't have any problem with anybody. Whether they call you back, whether they say they miss you, or whether they understand or reach out to you. So the fact is just that do this as a Muslim, say like as Allah, just for Allah's sake, just a normal sake, understand? But don't put price tags or transactions unless the business, business is different. But any other thing, don't expect anything from anybody. Understand? Don't expect much from anybody. Just be who you are. Be intentional, as I said, and just be who you are, and do whatever you do, just for for friendship's sake or for whatever sake, without expecting much in return. So that's the problem. That's the advice.
This has been an amazing conversation so far. Thank you guys very, very much for being on this episode of Reality Monday with Ameenah Haleemah. Appreciation to Ameenah. Thank you very much. Appreciation to Haleemah. Thank you very, very much. Appreciation to Toyeeb. God bless you guys for being part of this episode. So that will be it on this episode. I would have said you guys should say your any last words, but I think you already gave advice. Those are last words also. So thank you very much again to everybody that listened to this to the end. Yeah, this is this has been the 51st episode of Reality Monday with Ameenah Haleemah. I'll see you guys next month, inshallah. Thank you very much.